Hello, Professor Bright here, back at the Sunless Sea. Now, what we're going to be doing is heading eastward. Our goal is to find the Khanate and Port Cecil. Ideally in the opposite order, because Port Cecil should have Skintalak, which will allow us to progress our main, well, not really quest, our main ambition, which is finding our father's bones. The Khanate has strategic information for us, which would be nice, but isn't really required. Let's take a quick look at the map. Yeah, I'm told that Port Cecil is somewhere in the center of the Z, whereas the Khanate is far to the east. No, I do not remember my sources for either of those bits of information, although I presume the Admiralty for the location of the Khanate. Oh, hello! Close to Polythreme! Well, we might be having another distraction! Now, the story of Polythreme is it's basically an island where everything lives. Everything. Oh hey, look, a skull reef. Oh, this is pleasant. Well. Sure that's not a landmark? Okay. Now, let's see. Oh, Polythreme. Obey. Commingle. Yep. Seems like a nice place. I think we go dock, see what's going on over there. Oh yeah. Nothing bad can come from this. That music kind of makes me think something bad's gonna come from this. That's, Oh. Okay, what are these, like, landmarks? We'll find out in a moment. Polythreme. Here is screaming. I mean, do I even have to say it? This is not a nice place. Polythreme. Taciturn claymen. Evasive clothes colonies walking like humans. Cobbles that groan underfoot. On the hills above, a palace villa of marble, but even that writhes like buried bone in an earthquake. See? Told you. Everything lives here. Ah, what news from Polythreme? What lives? The king with 100 hearts rules from his palace above the city. He is never seen, he makes no treaties with other lands. But there is unrest in the air. The claymen you speak to are obedient and humble, but they speak nervously of those who are not. The maimed, the rebellious, the unfinished. Ah yes, unfinished men. Now, the claymen, I mean, they're clearly some sort of golem-like creature. No, I do not know their origins. I vaguely remember something about the King of 100 Hearts. I'm assuming he's the source of them, because, you know, why else would they serve him? I mean, besides the fact that he has 100 hearts, he's like 50 Time Lords in one. He is just that good. Now, shore leave for 30 echoes? I mean, we do have 450 echoes, but we have those reserved to get the Zoop from Palmerston if we make that trip on the way back. So I think we just carry Claymen to London. Although, what's this? A watchful curio. I was looking at the audience with King with 100 Hearts, but we don't have the materials, so I think we just take on the unfinished... Probably not unfinished men. Carry Claymen to London. Are they passengers or cargo? They're certainly the easiest passengers imaginable, unless, just unless, one turns out to be an unfinished man. Alright. They troop aboard. Each one lies down in its appointed position next to the other, nested snugly head by foot. We are for London, one explains to you. You sure are, friend. Let's hope we don't sink you. Tides of Appetite. Now that sounds promising for that being a, Khanate location. Although, hello, you look gorgeous, like the, Oh, what are you? Regal Complexus. I'm thinking you're Port Cecil. Which would be great if you were. That. Well, I hesitate to call you music, but we'll go with that. Why not? It sends a shiver up my spine, that music. It's new, it's foreign, it's vaguely disgusting. But see, this is why I think it might be the remains of that god thing's brain. I mean, just look at it. It's all organic looking. It's got eels in it, just like a real brain. What do you mean real brains don't have eels in them? Pfft. Oh well. Port Cecil, a sourceless silver glow, a haven for players of games. Rumpled convolutions of coral fill the water, glimmering with silvery light. The harder you look, the more you see shapes amidst the chaos, almost as if they were sculpted. This one could be a crenellated castle, that one a horse's head. A neat little port huddles into the side of a coral island, prosaic imperial docks and houses tucked away in a baroque organic chaos. In that curious silvery light, among the frozen chaos of coral, the scene has the unreal air of a pencil sketch, crumpled and discarded. We could play a little bit of chess. But first, what happens here? Chess streams silver light. The older inhabitants of Port Cecil carry coral incrustations like a disease, splotched with silvery light. They like to go up into the limestone heights behind the harbor, to lay their heads against the pillars and towers, stare at the roof of the Neath, dream open-eyed. Sometimes they speak of things far away. The Khanate's work, the smuggler wars, the Fathom King's secrets. Perhaps it's not all invented. See, this is why I think that this is the remains of that god brain, because supposedly the Neath is formed from the skull of a dead god, which is something that's repeated in Fallen London and a few other sources. I don't know that that's true, but I mean, it could explain some of the weirdness that goes on around here. A bit of a hand-wavy explanation, admittedly, but, you know. Dead god's skull, that pretty much explains all the very, very odd behavior. And now, we're going to gather our skintalak so we can go back to London and chat up the, old widow. Which sounds worse than it is. The widow's a crime boss, not a actual... No, gathering skintalak. Not explaining myself. The best of the coral will fetch a high price in London, but walk the reefs of the principles and you risk delusion and despair. Take your crew and go carefully. Fragments of silver. Where the Z washes across the coral's edge, it glows a rich purple. Each time it washes across your boots, you expect it to leave stains. You edge across the slippery coral, picking up lumps of brighter glowing stuff here and there, and though the Z doesn't stain, eventually it begins to whisper to you. Phrases so clear that you catch yourself looking over your shoulder in case your crew have spoke. They have not. They're looking around, just as you are. Between stars, the Z says, descend the chain. When it runs out across the coral, it sounds almost like a soft chuckle. I rest here, it tells you. I forget. And to skintalak. Now between the stars... Between the stars... used to be a phrase that, again, was in Fallen London. Was referencing the bazaar, the Echo Bazaar, that where the masters live and, you know, that dragged London down here. The chain, I don't know what it's talking about there. Well, moving on. I am curious, but not overly so. Mostly because I want to get over to the Khanate and pick up our strategic information, get rid of that older doctor, and see what else is out here. Chess is popular in the principles. The port is full of exiles, drunks, and washed-up Z traders. They all play, often obsessively. Be careful, the chess pieces are carved from skintalak. Here in the principles, that can be very dangerous. One more game. You don't know how long you've been playing. You want a match? Another. The rough coral tips of the chess pieces are smeared with blood. Yours, your opponent's. But you've begun to realize that your moves recapitulate the movements of the powers of the Neath. The flukes and their shapelings. The bazaar that lurks in London. Mount Nomad that prowls the sea. Salt, stone, storm. With every move you take, the shape of it becomes clearer in your mind. Sharper. Checkmate, you say. One more game? Your first officer is tugging at your arm. Ignore them. You have chess to play. Our first opening moves. Another. A disciplined success. Odd thoughts bubble up each time you touch a chess piece. This one longs for home. This one has a secret desire for revenge against the slayer of its rank mate. This will be a queen one day. Those would do better as metal. You taste the metal. You ignore these thoughts and move methodically to a victory over your opponent. He blinks. Checkmate? He asks helplessly. Some more fragments. And it's increasing our pages, which... I haven't seen what happens if you fail. And I mean, a chancy challenge, we'll go for it. Why not? Another success. One more game. You don't know how long you've been playing. You won a match. Another. Oh, just as before. Okay. And we gained 3 secrets this time. Wow. Okay, that's nice. Now it's a tough challenge. I think we must go. I don't think we want to be playing chess all day. And we know that to the northwest lies the Khanate. And, I don't want to fight you. I kind of want to fight you. Not if that's how long it's going to take. So, burn up that barrel. And run. Yes, I did just shoot a giant eel and then run away. Can you blame me? Oh, Khan's Heart to the north. Well, I mean... I mean, I'm fairly certain that... the Khanate is to the southeast of us now, but Khan's Heart, it's right here, and you know, I'm kind of inclined towards going in, seeing how things are over there. Also, kind of forgot to give them the all clear, but, well, they'll forgive me. The crew is just so accommodating. Ah, there they are to the west. Well, first, we'll stop by the familiar Khan's Heart, and then we'll make the trip to the Khanate. Also, their music is just much, much better, or at least more comfortable, than Port Cecil's. Ah, and such discoveries. Oh, hello, Sharky. Particularly tormented bound shark. Okay. Ah, yes, restless nights. Ignore them. Just lose that one terror. Not much, but I'll take it. I might blow up some Khanate ships while I'm here if they decide to fire upon me. But so long as they don't, we'll keep it all civil and peaceful. And nice. And dock. Khan's Heart, London's rival. An oasis of light in the salt-black wastes. Canals thread the painted city. Street lamps glow and water taxis putter. We'll begin to seek a commercial license. Though the Khaganians dislike merchants and they dislike foreigners. Foreign merchants induce paroxysms of antipathy. Perhaps sufficient bribes will buy your way into the Nephrite quarter. Not here, surfacer. Surfacer? But the Khaganians have been generations underground, and to them all Londoners are surfacers. It seems you'll need to go to Khan's Glory, the nearby palaces of the nobility, to seek a license. Not that nearby, friend, but, well, I suppose we could wander. Foreigners are restricted to the Copper Quarter, but as long as you don't try to cross the bridges, you can explore in reasonable safety. A shrine of the deep blue heaven. Above, the roof of the Neath is black, impassive, prickled with false stars. But the Khaganians still remember the sky. You pass an open-walled shrine with a domed roof. The interior is painted a deep, pure indigo. Citizens kneel below it while a blue priest speaks. As he reaches the climax of his prayer, a rosy, golden light swells inside the dome. The worshippers murmur in complacent delight. The dome is now a perfect, heartbreaking morning sky blue, a color you haven't seen for... how long? Filament bulbs, your bosun whispers importantly beside you. Give me honest gaslight any day. They've already got electricity. Well. I can't pay a storyteller. I need the money for those zoop. Well, we can gather a port report, and the Khanate generally assumes that all foreigners are spies or worse. It would be a shame to disappoint them, but it might be dangerous to prove them right. Chancy, well, we can do that. Your listeners meet your questions with courteous, frightened silence. The back of your neck prickles. Don't turn around. Again, I'm going to brute force this one, because I really want the port report. There we are! Precious scraps, rivalry between the Leopard and Eagle clans, the concerns about Shellonate raids, some appalling gossip about the traitor Empress back in London. Perhaps you shouldn't write that last one down, and move on quickly. That fellow in the corner has an informer's look. And everything else requires money. Well. For now, I should think that we are all set. Thank you very much for your time, and I shall see you all soon.